All right, welcome back to my channel. This is John, Carnivore Backwoods, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Tonight we're going to be interviewing Corey, and let me bring Corey on here and introduce him. Hey Corey, how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good. How you doing, John?
I am doing good. So Corey, you're a local here in East Tennessee along with me. We met at the meetup here a couple weeks back with Dr. Lisa Wiedemann. It's good to have you on here, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I live in Western North Carolina, so
Oh, I thought you were here.
just over the mountains.
Maybe that's right. Maybe you did tell me you were in Carolina, but yeah, I knew you were somewhere here in this part of the world because you were close to the meetup. Okay, that's my bad. So, welcome to the channel. You got a channel. It's called M2C-Carnivore Journey. Give us the background on your name there.
Well, we've got another channel called M2C Crew. It's a travel vlog channel. And when we started Carnivore, we thought, well, some of our subscribers and viewers may wonder why in the world we're losing so much weight. So I was like, all right, we'll put a YouTube channel up just to kind of explain it.
Okay, just so everybody knows, we got it down here. I'm going to put a banner up here with his channel. You can see there's at M2C-Carnivore Journey. He's got a new channel. He's getting it started. He's starting to put out some good content, so definitely worth checking out. Well, Corey, I appreciate you being on the live stream tonight. We're just going to talk about you and your journey on the carnivore and how you got there. So give us a little bit of backstory on your health journey, how you got to carnivore. You know, what other diets have you tried? What else have you done? Roller coaster rides, stuff like that.
Well, it's a long ride. I started out as a fat kid. The first diet I ever went on, I remember I was like in the 5th grade, and my parents put me on that cabbage soup diet. You know, the one where one day you're eating bananas and milk and something else, but you could have as much cabbage soup as you wanted. So I did that. Struggled with my weight most of my life. I've done low carb in the early 90s. Then I did the protein power plan that I actually came out in the 90s as well, along with a bunch of bodybuilding supplements, things like that. Lost some weight, fell off of it, gained it back. Then for a while I was doing, I did Fit for Life. I did Body for Life, which was Bill Phillips and EAS supplements back in the mid to late 90s. And just was doing things on and off, losing the weight, gaining it back. I even did one of those medical fast things where you're giving yourself an injection in the stomach every morning of some kind of pregnancy hormone. Didn't see anything that's that great as far as results go. It was like a 500 calorie a day diet where you're, eating chicken breast and broccoli, and that's it. So about 2018, let's see, moving on, about 2012 or so, we discovered Paleo Primal, got into Mark Sisson and his books and really interested in that. But geez, there were so many different vegetables and things that we never heard of that they were talking about cooking and using, and did that for a while, but just kind of fell off of it. And by 2018, we heard about keto. And so that was our first experience in the very low carb space. So we started doing keto. We were doing a paleo primal style keto. So we're keeping it very clean, not a lot of junk, no seed oils, things like that. At the time, we were doing all grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised, free-range, that type of thing. And at the time, I was doing most of the food prep. And if you've ever done keto, it can take a lot of time to do all that food prep and meal preps and counting all your macros and things like that. In 2019, I was basically working 2 full-time jobs. I was working for our business and also working a full-time job outside of our business, and it just got to the point where I couldn't keep up with the meal prep. So late 2019, early 2020, we fell off of keto, gained all the weight back, and that brought us to 2023. And basically, a lot of the impetus for doing something again was when we started our other channel. You know, started
So how
shooting
much did you weigh?
clips up. At my heaviest, I was 313.
Was
So
that when at your heaviest at Carnivore when you started Carnivore, or was that back when you were on keto?
that was also my heaviest at keto. When I started keto, I was 313. When I started
So
carnivore,
you got
I
to
was 313.
313, dropped a bunch of weight, got off the
Yep.
keto diet, gained it all back, right back up to 313,
Yep.
and then you started Carnivore. When did you start Carnivore?
Started August 1st
Of this year.
of
So
this year. Yep.
okay. So you've
So
been where we were August, September, October. So you about a little over 3 months in.
yep, 95 days. I
Cool.
looked it up earlier.
Cool.
And when we were keto, I had heard of carnivore, and I actually looked at it a little bit. But back in 2019, everybody that I saw in the carnivore space, it was all these bodybuilders, and they were just talking about, oh, ground beef, salt, water. That's it. That's all we eat. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound very interesting to me. Um, and then there were just concerns with it. Well, how do you get all your vitamins? How do you get this? How do you get that? How is that ever going to work or be sustainable? And never heard of the zero carb groups or anything like that. It was just a brief view of it, basically. Um, so seeing ourselves on video, we knew we had to do something, let ourselves go. And I was like, okay, we need to do something. Starting in about July, I started cutting out the carbs. Didn't really go low carb. Didn't do a lot of work to go keto or anything like that. I just cut out the simple stuff, stopped eating French fries, had a salad. My sandwiches, I'd cut out the bread and just have the meat and whatever on a plate. And I lost about 7 pounds during July. And towards the end of July, driving down the road, passing a Walmart, and there's this van in front of me. And this van has YouTube stickers on it and channel logos and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, here we are, baby YouTubers. And I'm like, YouTube? What's somebody got YouTube stickers on their van for in my dinky little town in Western North Carolina? And so I get close and I have to get close up to it to see it. And it said, My Zero Carb Life. I'm like, okay, don't know what that is.
Wow.
So I went home, looked it up on YouTube, and my first introduction to Kelly Hogan, and started watching her videos. That prompted me to look up the reversed miniseries, reversed carnivore miniseries. Found that, started watching it, and that introduced me to Dr. Berry, Dr. Kiltz, um, all these other people, Anthony Chaffee, and it just kind of went on from there. I started learning as much as I could. Talked to my wife about it because we always do things together. We never really succeed at a diet of any kind if we try to do it separately. So I talked to my wife, and she wasn't really on board. She's like, "No, I want to go do keto again." It's like, okay. Um, August 1st was my birthday. We'd already made plans to go out to dinner at a seafood restaurant. And we got there, and I looked over the menu, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to order crab legs. That's all I'm going to eat. And she said, well, you know what? I'm just going to order the boiled shrimp. And so that was our dinner, and that was my start and her start. And we've been doing carnivore ever since.
So she ended up doing carnivore anyways.
Yep, she ended up doing it anyway, and she loves it. I mean, it's the best thing about it, as far as from a day-to-day perspective, is the fact that it's easy. I don't have to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours chopping vegetables and making crack slaw. That was one of our favorite things when we were doing keto. It's real simple. Who cares about macros? You just cook the meat and eat it as long as it's, real meat and
Simplicity at
not,
its best.
yeah,
Simplicity at its best.
it
Absolutely.
is.
So were you facing any type of health issues, diabetes, lab work issues? What was going on with you health wise?
I had several issues, or still have some issues going on. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure probably 10, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd been taking medicine for that every day for most of the past 12 years. When I was keto, I was started going down to lower doses, and of course, when I gained the weight back, or when I stopped eating keto, I started taking the regular doses again. Um, I also was diagnosed with arthritis in my left knee about a year ago, and tried the cortisone shots. Those seemed to be great, helped for a couple of months, but the pain would come back and shots were expensive. So I ended up going on a pill for it, meloxicam for arthritis. And I was already taking a couple of different turmeric tablets every day. If I didn't take them, I knew it. Go 2 days without taking the turmeric, and I could barely walk. So um, since going carnivore, I've had to reduce my blood pressure medicine and break it in half because my blood pressure started getting a little too low. So I reduced it to about half. Right now, my blood pressure is running normal every time I check it. If it starts going too much further, I may have to eliminate the blood pressure medicine entirely. um, I stopped taking the turmeric after about 3 weeks just to see, because we're trying to eliminate plants in our diet. So I stopped a lot of my supplements. I decided, well, I'm going to stop taking the turmeric. Now, before carnivore, 2 or 3 days without taking the turmeric, and my knee would be killing me. I stopped taking it, no problem. Okay. So a month or so later, I started taking half the meloxicam, and still no problem. About 2 weeks ago, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I stopped taking the meloxicam entirely, and no problem. I'm still not having any pain in my knee. So, uh,
Excellent.
yeah,
That's
those are
good.
the
That's
biggest
awesome.
issues. Other than being obese.
But you weren't dealing with high A1C or diabetes or anything like that that you know of.
No, no. Every time I had my A1C checked, it was high. It was like
So
5.5,
you were
five
on your way.
six. But yeah, I was on my way, no doubt about it. So
How about skin tags? Did you have a bunch of skin tags?
yeah, I still have a number of skin tags.
They'll
I've heard
disappear.
that they
It's
they disappear.
skin tags are a sign of insulin
Yeah,
resistance, and so that
I
just
haven't
means that
heard that.
the skin tags are actually an early warning sign of diabetes. So it's good that you see the skin tags and then suddenly they're gone. I've been doing this for about 8 months now, and I think I have
Yeah.
one little bitty one left that hasn't disappeared yet, but um, it is interesting to see. So I mean, you're doing great. You've improved your health. What's your weight now?
256 this morning. So
256 down from 313, right?
yeah,
So that's a
I was
total weight loss of 50. Can't do the
yeah,
math. Be
like
50.
57, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. But I'm glad to see you and you feel better and you're feeling
Oh yeah.
healthier and you know you got you got rid of the brain fog. I'm sure you probably noticed that.
Yep. And energy. A lot of times I was just going through the motions. Didn't have much energy to deal with stuff, and just tired all the time. That's gone. So
Cool. Let's pop over here to the comments and say hi to a few people to see who we got in here. Richard from Copper Hill. Richard's always good to see you. How you doing, sir? We got Giacomo, I think I'm saying that right, from Italy. He's on my Facebook channel. I already said hi to you, Richard. Would you come in there twice? Karen says, busy day. Yeah, it's been a busy day. I've been working like mad all day long. Split a bunch of wood also, but we've been working on all my YouTube channels and trying to get all my streams scheduled. Keto Cheeto, meat. All right, here's a question. He says, anybody try the 3-day sardine fast? Nope, I have not tried the 3-day sardine fast. What about you there, Corey?
no, I've never even eaten a sardine, so thought about it.
I don't know. I've heard people talk about it, but I don't know. I like sardines, but I'm not sure if I could eat them day in and day out for more than one day. But I don't know. All right, another question. What's your favorite meal, Corey?
Ribeye.
Ribeye.
So, yeah, we have ribeye most nights. Sometimes we'll add some shrimp or a little piece of fish to that as a side. Got an air fryer shortly after we started Carnivore, and that thing's great. So, got some little metal pans. We throw the shrimp in or throw the fish in with some butter and throw them in the air fryer, and 10 minutes later they're done.
Yeah, Keto Cheeto's got some crazy questions here that I'm not sure what to make out of it today. I mean, not normally that way. Yeah, okay. We'll just pass on by that. My dog gets sardines once a week. Okay. I got sardines that have been in the pantry now for several months. I haven't touched them. I probably should pull them out and eat them, but I haven't got to it. Charger Mopar. Rick's in the house, as well as the Quack. Yep. Quack. Charger Mopar, if you're not familiar with him. Rick lives down in Florida, and he feeds all his he calls all the sugar carbohydrate food duck food, and he feeds it to his ducks, and all I can picture is a bunch of fat ducks running around. And Mama Cracker says, hey everyone. Every birthday, every birthday you have to travel one revolution around the sun. And then I scored some fat New York strips, had to buy 10-pound chunks. That's the way to do it. I like picking them up. For that matter, Christmas is coming, and here's a pro tip. Publix sells ribeyes, roasts at $6.99 a pound, or there and abouts in that price range. It'll be on sale for Christmas and Easter every year. So you got to be looking for that sale to start, and then go clear out their refrigerator before I do.
Well, luckily we've got a store about an hour and a half away from us here. It's Brown's Packaging, I think, down in South Carolina, and they've got ribeye for, I think that's what it is, like $6 a pound if you buy the whole primals. I went down there a month or so ago, bought a bunch of them, cut them all up.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Yep,
I'd be into that. New York strip's okay, but prime rib is 100% better. See here, we have a new person on here watching from BC, Canada. Well, welcome to the channel. We appreciate you being here. So tell me about your YouTube channel. Well, let's talk about your travel channel. We'll start there, and then we'll talk about your carnivore channel.
Okay. Well, back in January, my wife's father booked us on a cruise. Neither one of us had been on a cruise together. I'd been on one cruise in my life. My wife had been on a few in her 20s. And so we didn't know anything about it. So we jumped on YouTube, or I jumped on YouTube and started looking up this ship. And I just kind of got hooked
What ship
into
was it?
watching all these Odyssey of the Seas. In
Okay,
fact, we're going this next weekend.
Not Carnival, it's
Royal Caribbean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So started watching these YouTubers, cruise YouTubers, and got hooked and just really enjoyed it. And I was like, I talked to my wife and I told her, well, I think we could probably do that. We go on a vacation every year to St. Martin, and we've been doing it for 15 years. And I was like, well, if we just shoot video while we're down there this year, we could start our own YouTube channel and see what happens. And so we started doing it and started having fun with it, and it really enhanced our vacations. So we actually got out and did more instead of just lounging by the pool. So we got back from our vacation, and I started learning how to edit video because I'd never done that before, and seeing myself on video, and my wife was seeing herself on video, and just realized, oh boy, we just kind of let ourselves go. But that channel started in July with our first long form content, and it's been doing pretty good from there. We've done a lot. So far, we've got videos up from St. Martin, which we went to back in April, some family trips and things that we've done. And that's about it right now. So that content is still well behind real time. So all of those videos, the latest video that we put up was shot probably in July. So
Okay.
um,
This is your carnivore channel. Let me fix that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to your cruise channel. So you got two channels here. Here's the cruise channel.
Yep.
Mountain to Sea Crew. And there's some pictures that you can definitely see that you've lost quite a bit of weight. If you look at this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one. Absolutely. So we got some videos on here performing perfume making class. I'm just kind of dipping through here, seeing what we got.
Yeah, basically every video that's up right now is pre-carnivore.
Okay. So aren't everybody going to be surprised when you pop on there with a new video and you've lost all this weight?
Yep. The only one that's actually new is we took a trip on Great Smoky Mountains Railroad a few weeks ago, and that was more recent, but I just kind of put that out early. It jumped to the head of the pack.
There's this video down here with the alpacas and stuff, and that says it's 1 day old. So
yeah, that published yesterday. So, but
okay.
It was shot back in June.
So looks like some good stuff here. Let me click on this for a second here. Oh,
at the bird park.
Yes, we were at Parrottville in Belvedere Road,
Okay.
St. Martin. We're going to go feed some birds, so this should be fun. Seeing this on YouTube with some other folks, and I love birds, so this should be a lot of fun.
Welcome to the bird park. My name is George. I'll give you a presentation over the species of bird that is.
good stuff. Good stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was
back up. What's that?
That was actually the very first video that I edited and that we we uploaded. So
all right, and we got some videos on here. This is your carnivore channel.
Yep. All right, guys, I got a recipe for you today. We're going to be making what Lori calls her superfood. pork butt in the air fryer. So here's the way I do it. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but it's what I figured out and it seems to work for me. All right, we get our...
All right. We'll let people go over and watch that for themselves. I just wanted to throw that on there to see what was going on. So there's his channels, guys. Both his things are M2C, and then it's -carnivore.journey. You can see it here on the bottom of the screen. That's his carnivore channel. And then the other one is M2C-crew.
It's M2C crew, which stands for
M2C.
Mountains to Sea crew.
Yeah, M2C crew. So couple of channels. He's got two of them he's working on. I don't blame him for splitting it between the two because carnivore and travel, I mean, there's a little bit you can put together, but it would be hard to do it on a regular basis, I would expect.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Squeaky Toy says a ribeye here would cost me $30 in groceries. Damn, that's just, yeah, it's just crazy. You know, most of the ribeyes around here are going to cost you in the $15, $16 range. But you know what I do, and is I have all the ads, you know, saved on a favorites in my bookmark, and then I just check the weekly ads to see who's putting what on sale. Charger Mopar, as long as it's not the Titanic. Yeah, well, these ships are like bigger than Titanic. That's the funny thing. If you put the Titanic next to some of these cruise ships that are out there, the Titanic would look like a little rowboat. It's absolutely insane when you put the perspective together. Also love birds, especially nice fat ones floating in lard. That's why he's feeding them all that stuff to fatten up those ducks. He said butts.
I did.
There's
say
a Beavis and
butts.
Butthead reference right there. All right, I'll put you back on the screen here. We'll get back up here. All right. Lady Fritz, a few stores here will sell ribeyes uncut for $9 a pound. That's not a bad price. I mean, I like what Corey's saying here about around the $6-7 range. I want to go find out where that place is and take me a trip. You know.
Yeah, it was worth the trip. Yeah,
I'll fill up an ice chest at that price.
Yep, that's what I did.
So you got a couple good channels going on there. Things are coming together. You know, you're putting out some videos. You did some. You were there at the meetup that we had with Dr. Litsa Wiedemann. I know you were recording some stuff there. So what do you got? What do you got planned? What's your vision for your channel?
Just reaching a different audience. Between the people that find it through our travel vlog channel and people that just happen to stumble across it. We all have a voice, and our voice is going to resonate with different people. So I think the important thing is getting the word out about carnivore. You know, when I saw that Kelly Hogan had been doing this for 14 years or something like that, I was like, okay, this is not some little fad thing that you're going to be dead in a year if you try to do it. And then watching Dr. Barry, we've got so many voices in this community, but every additional voice lends weight to our message and our story. And I don't really I can't say that I have any particular purpose other than being another voice out there that can possibly speak to someone and help them get off of the spiral, health spiral that they're on. So
cool. Well, it looks like you're off to a good start. I forgot to look at let's see here. Back up here. Your current subscriptions are 44. So yep. I think we can move that number a little bit tonight. We got a few people on here, and we will push that and see if we can't get him some more subscribers and you know, help him get his message out. He's off to a great start. If you guys got questions for Corey, now's the time to start asking him. We're 30 minutes in. You know, we're shooting for, you know, for the hour mark. So if you got questions you'd like to ask him, or you got some stuff you'd like to throw out there, we're definitely ready to answer some questions. Let's see what we got here. Canada prices are crazy. We're still looking into buying a meat package from a local rancher. Absolutely. I tell people to go out, meet your rancher, meet your farmer, look him in the eye, see his operation, walk around, see the animals are healthy and happy. And that way, that you're getting a good quality, product from a reputable farm. Grass fed at the store doesn't mean that anything other than it was left out in the pasture, to eat. You're much better off, looking your rancher directly in the eye. So, who was your biggest go-to person? When you first found Carnivore, was it Ken Berry or was it,
Yeah.
Hope?
Yeah,
So,
it was definitely Ken Berry. Just the sheer volume of videos that he has, from keto and then to carnivore, and just so many different things that he has out there that just really could answer pretty much any question you had about it. I did watch some of Kelly Hogan's videos. Watched a few of Dr. Kilt's, more listen to his podcasts, listen to Dr. Baker's podcasts, a few Anthony Chafee. So that's pretty much what I do. My job keeps my hands busy, so my ears are free. So I'm listening to podcasts or books on tape or things like that all day. So
yeah, audiobooks are my big thing. I like listening to books on audio because I'm driving down the road, especially with my job now. I'm out on the road doing outside sales. And so audiobooks have become, my favorite thing to listen to outside of YouTube. All right. So, we come around here. I don't want to badger you with questions. I was hoping to have some questions from the group here. What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
Well, something that's been on my mind a lot lately is the food addictions and cravings and how to deal with them. So I'll tell a little story. Not this past meetup, but one before that I went to. They had a lot of freebies, a lot of stuff that they gave out. We had some Redmond salt, and they had carnivore crisps and things like that. And they had a sample pack of electrolytes from a particular company. Didn't think much about it. Took it home. Tried out one of the electrolytes. So did my wife, and found that they were sweetened with stevia, and found that was a trigger for both of us. And I had cravings that night because it had been 2 months since I had anything sweet or close to it. And just the taste of sweet was a trigger. So I think if people are having problems with cravings, or especially craving carbs or sugar, things like that, look at anything else that's in your diet that may be causing that. So that was something that was interesting for us to discover.
And what was that brand?
I'm not going to name the brand.
Okay.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. There's a lot. I mean,
Elemental uses what does Elemental use? They use stevia too, don't they? So I'm just trying to think of. There's a few of them out there, but they definitely can be triggers.
Yeah. And the thing was,
anything, even the ones that are, if you Google them and you look them up and it says, won't spike your insulin. Problem is your mouth still tastes the sweetness.
Exactly.
And everything that I've seen or heard on it, if your mouth registers sweetness, then your body's going to say, "Oh, sugar's coming. Let me bump the insulin level up." So it doesn't even
Yeah.
have to get into your bloodstream. It's just the sense of sweetness. And that's what
Exactly.
leads to that sudden craving for more sweetness because you had a little bit of it.
That's right. And you look at some of the studies, they'll show that they check people's insulin levels, and if they show them a commercial with, you know, something sweet stuff, desserts, or
Mm.
burgers, whatever, French fries, that their insulin will spike
Mhm.
just from seeing a picture, not from tasting anything, not from smelling, just from seeing a picture. So imagine what happens if you're drinking something that's sweet.
Yep, absolutely.
So
Just like the ice cream truck going down the road and the music playing kicks your dopamine level and makes you think about ice cream. There's a reason
yeah,
why that ice cream truck is playing that very distinctive music, because it registers in your brain and you immediately start getting the craving for ice cream. And so a perfect example, if I showed up at you, and brought you donuts every day, or we'll just say once a week. If I brought you donuts once a week, my showing up will trigger your dopamine, even if I don't have donuts, and you'll be happier to see me.
yep,
That's a proven fact.
that's true. Well, Pavlov's
So,
dog, right?
there's a lot of things out there, and I was dealing with my blood sugar for a while, and I was like, what spiked my sugar? Because I was not, I wasn't taking any type of sweeteners in or sugars in, and I was taking cinnamon capsules, which they tell you cinnamon help your sugar, which cinnamon does help, get your sugar levels down. It deals with insulin, but the capsules were made of sugar. So,
Jeez.
you're taking this thing, but then my blood sugar would spike, and I was like, "Where is that coming from?" Well, it turned out it was the capsules of the vitamins, or the cinnamon capsules I was taking were made of sugar. Then I started looking at at ingredients on vitamins, and you find sugar laced throughout all of that stuff. Not because anybody's taking a pill because they think it tastes good, is because that little dopamine hit that you get out of it makes you want to take it again,
Yep.
and you'll
And
find that.
to actually identify those sugars, you almost have to go online and do a search and find all of those ingredients that sound like it's just something, who
Oh
knows what
yeah.
it is, and
Yeah,
it's nothing but
there's a
sugar.
bunch. You Google it, look up different names for sugar, and put it on Google, and you'll come up with a list of between 60 to 100 different labelable names that they can put on a package, and then put on the front label, no sugar added. No
Right.
sugar added. So there was an ice cream. We were up at Yoder's, a little Amish place up here, north of Morristown, and they had no sugar added ice cream. And you flip it around, and the first ingredients with dextrose, but they can label that as no sugar added because they didn't use the word sugar, or they didn't actually use a sugar. They used dextrose, which is still a sugar, but they can get away with it and label it that way. It's absolutely
Jeez.
just crazy. And everything you buy, I tell people, if it's got more than 2 or 3 ingredients, you can guarantee it's probably something that you don't want to put in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's probably
I mean,
got seed oils in it, or it's got sugar, or it's got both.
that's for sure. And keto's been ruined by all the crap that's on the grocery shelves these days. It says keto, keto, keto.
Well, yeah, because they're not a real stringent on what keto means or how much sugar keto is, and so they can get away with saying, well, it's keto because it's low carb. It's only 25 grams of carbs per serving, and there's 4 of them in here, but we won't talk about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes back to what Rick's saying here. Mary Poppins, spoonful of sugar. Yeah, the spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Well, the spoonful of sugar also keeps you coming back for more medicine.
Yeah. I mean, geez, go to the store, try to buy hot dogs. Why in the world do hot dogs need sugar in them?
Oh yeah, yeah,
You try to find clean hot dogs; they're almost impossible.
yeah. It can be done, but you got to look around for it.
And
You
then
got
they're
to be
$7
very
for a pack
diligent.
of 5.
You got to be very diligent about it, and then then you start splitting hairs. Well, there's a little bit of sugar in here. But am I going to completely, throw this off or not have it? You got to figure that out. You got to figure out what works for you.
Yep.
I never tasted sweetness in milk until I started this diet. Let me tell you, I've drank coffee all my life, and I've drank it with a lot of sugar and a lot of half and half or creamer or flavored creamer, and which was full of nothing but sugar. And drinking black coffee was the worst thing under the sun I could ever think of. And now I drink coffee every morning with no sweetener. Only thing I put in is heavy whipping cream, and that tastes absolutely sweet to me. And I don't put any sugar in it. Charger Mopar and his ducks. They ruined duck with sugar duck sauce. Yep.
Oh,
So,
boy.
yeah, it's just it's absolutely insane. But I mean, you can't. You got to do your due diligence and look and see what it is and what you're eating. I mean, I was looking at salmon patties, and you think salmon's good for you, right? Salmon's you're going to be something that you could eat, but then you flip it over and it's got 50 freaking ingredients, and one of them soybean oil, and you're like, what the heck is all that in there for? It's like McDonald's and their French fries. Why does McDonald's French fries need 17 ingredients? It's supposed to be fries and cooked in in fat, salted. Why do we need anything more than that in there? But it's all about hooking you and making you addicted to it so that you'll keep coming back for more.
Right. And you don't know. I mean, a few weeks ago, I ordered Philly cheesesteak, just the meat. That's all I want. Just make me 2 servings of meat. And my wife asked me, "Hey, did you look at the ingredients on those? Because it's where we work." And it's like, no. So go to the freezer, pull out the box, look at it. Oh, well, it's marinated in sugar. It's just supposed to be shaved beef for a Philly cheesesteak. But no, it's marinated in all this crap. And I was like, okay, well, it's the last time I'll do that. Back to burger patties.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you think we bought some packages of Philly cheesesteak meat, and it wasn't even really meat. It was kind of some type of processed thing that they made. And then after I got to the ingredients, I'm like, oh man, we should have looked at this one closer. But yeah, it's just absolutely insane. And it's now come to the point where, I mean, there's just certain things I'm going to buy, and there's certain things I'm not even going to look at. I'm not even going to go over there and look at it because I'm just going to be disappointed by it. Mama Cracker says, I read once that packagers can print no sugar added because the packagers didn't add any. That's a great possibility. Mostly the USDA says as long as you don't use this type of sugar, then you didn't add sugar. As long you can use, dextrose, or you can add some other sweeteners. You can add the alcohol sugars. You can add those, but if you use cane sugar, then you got to label it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like olive oil. Olive oil can be cut up to 50% with soybean oil and labeled as 100% olive oil. 50%. I mean, think about that. You got people out there thinking, oh, I'm eating olive oil because it's healthy for me, which olive oil, of plant-based oils is healthy for you, but not cut 50% with soybean oil, which is absolutely horrible for you.
Yep. That's for sure.
Only 2 ingredients in heart attack chicken. Yep. Chicken and lard. Chicken and lard. Can't get past that. There's nothing better. Heart attack chicken, 100%. We're all going to have a heart attack from eating this way, right? Yeah. That's a joke. Charger Mopar, Rick, I don't know if you've seen his channel or anything or followed him, but he's been doing carnivore basically for the last 40 years.
Wow.
And he did it because somebody told him he was going to have a heart attack eating that way. So he's like, well, I'm still waiting on my heart attack. Oh. Well, Corey, I appreciate having you on the channel. We're 45 minutes in. Anybody else have? Oh, we got Mike in here. United Carnivore. Let's see what he had to say. Greetings, everyone. It is said that for approximately every 4 grams of carbs on the label is equivalent to 1 teaspoon of sugar. Eye-opening. I'm sure most people don't realize the scary stuff. Yeah, people don't realize. I mean, if you put all the sugar that's in a bottle of ketchup in the bottle of ketchup, it takes up most of the bottle of ketchup. You know, there's very little else in there, and there's no nutrients in there. It's just simply sugar to keep you addicted and keep you coming back for more. You know, hence why the kids love to, dip their fry completely in it till it's completely covered, and then suck the ketchup off and dip the fry in again. You know, my nephew used to do that because they were getting the sugar.
Yeah, and most of them have high fructose corn syrup, so that's probably the worst stuff in the world for you.
Yeah, that stuff stays in your body for days on end, and before it actually clears out. Leastways, if you're using actual cane sugar, that stuff's in your system. Your body metabolizes it, turns it into fat, and it's gone. Or it's stuck on your waist or your hips or something. But some of these other chemical stuff that they putting in your food and that you think is good for you, it's sticking around, it's tearing up your liver, it's killing your kidneys. It's causing all kinds of health issues. Absolutely insane. Wagyu only has to be 45% Wagyu. The cow could be bred to a different type of bull. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah. You and my wife, she loves her mustard.
I love it too.
Yeah.
That's my favorite condiment.
She calls me up and says, pick me up a bottle of mustard. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll get you some. All right.
So what's your opinion about spices? Some people use them, some people don't.
The funny thing is I mean, we use a little bit, and I use some of the Redmond's. Redmond's got a really nice, what was it, chili lime, spice that we use, and we've used their steak one. Of course, we use their salt. But it's weird to me now that things that I used to crave, like garlic salt or garlic in general, for that matter. I mean, I can have it on there, or I can leave it behind and a lot of times, I mean, I'd rather, like, I was eating beef jerky today and my wife made, it was just salt and beef. There was nothing else on it, just salt and beef, dehydrated. It was some of the best beef jerky I've ever ate. So if people need it and that helps them get down their journey towards carnivore, I say do it. If it's full of sugar, I'd say don't do it.
Yeah.
Definitely
have to watch
a lot of the seasoning, especially
oils.
or the seed oils for that matter too. But a lot of the barbecue seasonings, you get those and they're full of sugar. Everything about the barbecue is about making things sweet, which doesn't make it better. But but it keeps you addicted to it. That you're eating candied meat, right? So I'm not against seasoning. I'm not against people that have to eat, a little bit of, salad or something, as long as they're keeping it low carb and getting themselves down that journey and transitioning towards carnivore. And then ultimately, I feel that, once you've achieved your health goals and you're feeling, good about it, and you understand your body and how it works under carnivore, you probably could reintroduce some vegetables if you're not addicted. If you have a sugar addiction and anything that you eat brings out your sugar addiction, then obviously you can't do it. I don't think that we have to ultimately be extreme to any diet. People have been eating plants for just as long as they've been eating meat, but there's some plants that are good for you and some of them that are definitely not, and we need to identify those ones and to remove them from our diet. So I don't choose to eat any plants. My wife, she'll have a salad with dinner if we eat out. Of course, she likes her mustard. I don't do any of that stuff. But I think whatever helps you get along your journey, as long as you're improving your health and making things better for yourself. I think that's the most important thing. And then you can deal with the somatics of whether or not this is carnivore or not carnivore. Like I drink coffee every morning, and I drink it with heavy whipping cream. And there's some people out there that'll just cry, "Oh my God, that's not carnivore." I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to drink my coffee in the morning. I do it every morning, 5 o'clock. Dr. Kiltz's power hour and 2 cups of coffee. Before I even think about my day, before I even think about anything else, I'm going to sit there for an hour and just get my mental health and well-being together, listen to Dr. Kiltz and drink some coffee.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's my prerogative.
Yep, that's right. And I've tried it both ways. I've tried cooking my meat with just salt and trying to find out if I felt different. Because I normally put stuff on my steak. I always have. And I started cooking it just with salt. Didn't see any difference. So I said, okay, well, I enjoy it with the spices, so I'm going to put the spices back on. And it's all just single ingredient spices that I use one at a time. And I did the same thing with coffee. I cut out the heavy whipping cream, see what effect that had, because I'd been using heavy whipping cream for years, probably back since I did paleo. That's all I ever used in my coffee. So I cut out the heavy whipping cream. I tried, I found that baking soda, just a tiny little pinch of baking soda in the coffee, and I could drink black coffee and it was fine. It wasn't bitter, anything like that. Then I cut out the coffee and I was drinking hot tea every morning, and I didn't notice any difference one way or another. I'm like, okay, there's no real difference to me. I'm not, a religious zealot doing this diet. I'm going to just go back to drinking my coffee as long as it doesn't have a negative effect on me. And why not? So.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, you hear people then like, "Oh, well, that's going to raise your levels of this, and it's going to keep you up, and you're not going to be able to sleep." I got news for you. I go to bed at 10:30. I sleep beautifully. I sleep like a rock. I wake up every morning, ready to rock and ready to roll. Never tired anymore since I started this diet, and I've been drinking my coffee every morning since then. So they haven't sold me on it yet.
Yeah.
I've thought about it. I'm like, well, I could probably cut it out for a month and see if I see any changes in it. But then I'm like, I'm losing weight. I'm healthy. I feel good. I just don't see it, but that's a personal preference. Some people, they need to get off it. Some people don't like coffee, and that's perfectly fine. Most of the people who are advocate against coffee don't really like coffee in the first place.
Yep.
Let's see what we got over here for comments. I never put sauce on any meat. I love organic mustard too. It helps with acid reflux. And then some plants are deadly, and that's definitely something to look at. Some plants are definitely hard on your system. Now, the wife made some taco meat and put some taco seasoning in it, and I don't know what was in that taco seasoning, but it absolutely bent me over. I was in so much pain.
Wow.
After I've been on the diet for a few months. And so I avoid that one like the plague. I don't know, I haven't looked at the label of that one. I'm not sure if the label really still exists on that bottle, but whatever was in there, my body didn't like. But those are things that's the great thing about this diet is once you've eliminated anything that you reintroduce, you're going to know quickly whether or not you can actually, consume it or not. It's not like, oh, this is a surprise. It's 2-3 hours in, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not doing that again. You'll feel like crap. I consumed some sugar. We went out wine tasting up in Gatlinburg, and we had some the wine, but then they had these little icy mixed drinks, and I drank one of those, and I for 2 days I was hurting. My knees hurt, my joints hurt, my back hurt. All the inflammation it caused. So I stay away from that stuff. And then Callie here, who just popped in. Hey, Callie, how's it going? She challenged me to a BB&E this month. So I'm doing nothing but beef, bacon, butter, eggs, repeat. And other than my coffee, me and her both agreed that coffee was good. But you know, we've been doing the BB&E here and been doing really good on it, and I feel good. You know, got another 3 weeks or so, I guess. Here we're about 1 week in. All right. Well, we're at 55 minutes. If nobody's got any more questions for Corey, I respect his time. I got things to work on. I got to go cook me a ribeye. I'm going to start a 48-hour fast after tonight. So we're going to have some ribeye and eggs to go along with my BB&E. And then we're going to fast till Tuesday evening. And then we'll probably have another ribeye, you know, and bacon and eggs. We do a 48-hour fast every other weekend is what the wife and I started doing here. I don't know, about a month and a half or so ago, and it helps bump your weight loss, get you moving in the right direction. I feel amazing afterwards. You know, the first day can kind of be a struggle, but after that, it normally gets pretty good. All right, Corey, you got anything final comments, you know, things that you want to say before we close this out?
Well, thanks for inviting me on. Glad to be here, and look forward to seeing comments from the community, guys.
Absolutely. Everybody go to Corey's channel. Let me put it back up one more time here. Let me throw this up here. Share screen. This is his YouTube channel, Mountain to Sea Carnivore Journey, M2C-Carnivore Journey. Give him some likes. Give him some subscribes to see if we've moved it at all yet here. We're at 46, so there's 2 up from where we started a little bit ago. So we moved it a little bit. You know, like his channel, give him a subscribe, throw some comments in his videos, let him know that you watched his interview and that you're here to see what's going on. And I'm sure he'll be putting out some more great content for you guys to watch.
Yeah, we try to put out a video every week, at least one.
Let's see here. Put butter in your coffee. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the flavor though. I've done the butter coffee and it's all right, but I just like my heavy whipping cream. Have a good night. Have a good night. Enjoy the ribeye. I will. Trust me. And Squeaky Toy says sub to Corey's channel, and I'm sure he appreciates that. All right, guys. We appreciate your time. You guys have a good night. We'll catch you on the next live stream. I got some great interviews. I'm going to be interviewing with Dr. Tony Hampton next week. So you guys definitely want to check that out. It's going to be a one-on-one with me and Dr. Tony, and I'm looking forward to that. Carnivore Roundtable next Sunday, 1 o'clock. As always, we'll catch you on the next one.